It's the weekend, ain't got a care in the world. Opening up bottles with my girls. It's time to get right. It's time to get right. We gon' be the ones with our hands in the air, looking great, feeling good. Interrupt, I'm wishing that you would get right. It's time to get right. It's been a long week. Boston made me mad. Boyfriend tripping. Car didn't have no gas. Other situations, things unexpected. I even lost my temper over misreading a message. See, first it was this and that.
Hello
was
there,
to
guys.
follow.
This is your girl
Waiting on the
Erica
weekend
and my
for
beautiful
eternity.
wife
Shantae.
and we are
the McDade's.
the McDade's.
Who you know? Dang, you was on delay. Let's try that again.
Hi guys, it's your girl Erica. I'm the host of the show, and we are coming live to you from the beautiful executive suites of KMWI Radio.
Extra.
This is my beautiful wife,
Shantae.
and we are the McDade's. Is that better?
Yes.
Golly.
Together.
Dang, I did have to get it together.
I mean,
went-
because we was all delayed. You was like, we all.
But then I just told everybody in the studio that I'm scared, like I always do before it's time to get on the radio. I mean, on the microphone. So,
Girl, let me tell you something.
well, tell me, girl. Talk to me.
Lady P over here eating. It smells so good.
It does, doesn't it? Girl, we hungry. Anybody want some Taco Cabana? Y'all hungry out there? I hope y'all got shout. Look, shout out to tacos. No, if anybody out there done cook today, I know it's Sunday. You gotta have your greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes,
Go
and all
Cowboys.
your girl. Shut up. Go Green Bay. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We going all the way to the top. Yes, Green Bay Cowboys are sitting down at the house watching.
I've been doing good. I bought you some Green Bay stuff.
Oh, y'all, baby, hook me up. We're going to talk about that, too. Because let me tell you something. Green Bay taking us all the way. And I'm really, really, really excited because baby bought me a new hoodie and some new house shoes and all that. So y'all get ready for your team Super Bowl. It's coming up on February...
7.
I thought it was the 6th.
7.
The 7th, February 7th. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. And if y'all have not gotten on the Super Bowl board that Shantae
I
is
only got
on.
one square left.
Okay, well, if you need a square $50, $500 payout, you guys jump on them football boards, get your money. Don't be afraid to put a couple of dollars on the line. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because we did. Because I know I got about 3-4 squares on that sucker, too.
You only have 2. You really only have
Okay,
2.
wait a minute. Isn't this a we thing? This is a we thing. So you bought a few. I bought a few.
So are you going to pay for your fee, or do I have to pay for your squares as well as mine?
Baby, my money is your money, and your money is my money, so it shouldn't even matter who account it's coming out of, because we in this together, and that's what we're going to talk about today, too. So we in this together.
Togetherness.
Together, because I pay for yours and mine. It don't matter.
Okay, well, run me that 200.
I will run it to you.
All right.
Definitely will. Then
Right
what
now, catch up.
No. Hey, you stay get from off from over here.
Don't get from off
You
from
get from off from over here. But anyway, you guys, I hope that y'all are having a wonderful week and enjoying your weekend. Well, let me say that again. I hope that you guys had a wonderful week and you're enjoying your weekend just as we are. We always busy, but here lately I've been off on weekends and it feels really, really great. So I hope that you guys are out there staying safe and not catching the heebie-jeebies out there in the streets. The COVID-19, honey, that's the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, that's what you call the heebie-jeebies. So I hope that you guys are staying safe, keeping your faces covered, as we always say. So we're going to start the show off today, kicking out our shout-outs. And on a good note, who would you like to kick a shout-out to first, baby?
I'm kicking a shout out to Jesus because he woke me up this morning.
Amen. Amen. Everybody
Amen.
give Jesus a hand clap.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. What you say? Hallelujah. A shout out to Jesus. Amen. No, we're going to kick out some shout outs. Y'all already know that it's important to me and it should be important to you guys. It's coming in 2021 that we are supporting our black businesses. And of course, I'm going to always kick my shout outs to everybody that is got the motivation and the dedication and can keep the consistency with running their new businesses, especially if you are black, because
A person of color.
a person of color. Okay.
I never say black.
Okay, well, person of color. You know how it go, and you know what I support. So we're going to start out with the first shout out. We are going to kick a shout out to Mr. Kevin Carter, who is the owner and creator of Carter Brand. These are our shirts today. This is his the guy that makes our shirts. This is his actual logo. And for you guys, if you ever want to order any shirts, you can go to www.cvrter brand, Carter Brand, brand.com, and you can order these shirts and you can order other shirts that you may want to create or that he has on his website. You guys, please make sure that you're supporting our black businesses just as we do. Not to say that we spend a whole bunch of money, but the money that we do spend with him, it means a lot because he's able to evolve and he's able to grow his business just like the rest of us. So shout out to Kevin Carter. We really do appreciate you making our shirts, keeping us up on the t-shirt fashion. We really do appreciate you, and you keep doing what you're doing.
Google, keep us up on the t-shirt
Yeah,
fashion.
keep us up on the t-shirt fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Let me say it for the black people in the back. Shout out to Carl Kevin, keeping us all laden, laced up.
No, laid and laced up. Okay, well, we'll do laid and laced up. Kevin Carter does keep us laid and laced up. So Carter Brand, CVRTER brand.com to order your t-shirts. You guys make sure that you are supporting our black businesses. Another black business that I would really like to kick a major shout out to. Now, I don't know if you guys are hanging y'all's TVs at the house or on your own, or if you are hiring a company to come out and hang your TVs or to install your cameras for your security systems and your Ring doorbells and stuff like that. Well, you guys, we do have Mr. Brian Fluellen. Brian Fluellen, he owns BF Configurations, which is a company that does home security, and he also does hanging TVs, and he does all of the cameras and stuff. So if you want stuff in your home and you want it done professionally, the good thing about BF Configurations is when he comes into your home, not only is he professional, but he will install your TVs and your cameras and stuff like that. And when you move, you can contact Brian, and he will come and take it down, fill in holes, patch up the wall, and he will put it in your new location. So you guys just make sure, once again, BF Configurations, make sure that you guys are supporting your black businesses. You can reach him, you guys, at info@bfconfigurations.com. And his phone number is 866-573-5753. And he's located in Dallas, and he is right now currently covering Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, and Atlanta, Georgia. And he specializes in TV mounting, security systems, Ring doorbells, camera, computer repairs, ceiling fans and light fixtures, commercial service, residential service, bonded and insured, mirror and picture hanging, home theater and audio installation, and LED lights. So you guys, if you need any of that type of work done at a reasonable price, reach out to Mr. Brian with BF Configurations. He will make sure that he gets you in there together. Once again, his number is 866-573-5753. Right? I did. It was a commercial, so now I need to get paid. So Brian, if you listen, I need to be on that commercial. You hear me? Because I got you. But anyway, you guys, it is very, very important that we make sure that we are following our people of color, and we are supporting one another, and we're paying it forward. So if somebody does something for you, make sure that you pay it forward by doing it for somebody else. And I'm going to always speak that. That's going to be my positive motivation, my positive energy that I send out to you guys each and every time. Do you have anybody else you want to kick a shout out to?
No.
Nobody? Mm-hmm. Not me?
Jesus.
Okay, but what about me?
What do I have to see? You asked the question. I answered your question. You didn't like my answer.
But I'm trying
to me kick a shout out to
you. I am. Kick a shout out to me. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Like you say with them nails. Hey.
Well, let me kick a shout out to this one over here.
Yee-hee. Thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Okay, so
give me all your money.
But you was just on some old BS just a minute ago.
I didn't do nothing.
When it was something you about these football boys. You only got 2 on the board, and you gonna run me my money, and hey, and all that extra stuff.
Who is you talking to?
I'm talking to you, and I'm talking about you in your face.
See, this is what you're testing me. Last week we talked about me talking and thinking before I speaking. So the way I would react is not the way I'm gonna react right now.
Oh, so what you gonna do?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I can dig that. But anyway, we finna get into our show, you guys. And I do want to say that today's title of the show is Life, Love, and Marriage. And today we're going to welcome in, we have 2 special guests that are here on the show with us today. and they're two really close friends of ours. They're our sister wives, and I do want to bring them to the show. So right now, I would like to introduce the Baileys, and these are our good friends, Shaniqua and Monique Bailey, and they are the owners and operators of Infinity in a Bond, which is a really special group that they have started on Facebook, and you also can find them on YouTube. The Babies Conquer the World. Yeah. So we would like to thank you guys for coming. Shaniqua and Monique, thank you so much for coming to the show today to talk with us about life, love, and marriage. Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. All right. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming. We do appreciate you guys to accept the invitation to come on our show today and talk with us about some good stuff. Absolutely. So, the reason why I came up with the title of this show and I invited this wonderful, beautiful couple is because they're married, they share love, and they're living a life together. And I'm sure that you guys had many trials and tribulations in a life before you met each other, just as Shantae and I did. So we're going to talk a little bit about life, love, and marriage today. And I want to start with the whole life part. So you guys, life is what you make it, right?
Facts.
Dang.
Hey.
I got 3 different responses.
Hey.
Facts. Okay, hey. Life is what you make it. It definitely is. We have all been over some humps. Right. We've all had to climb over some mountains.
Wow.
Am I preaching? Come on. Where your handkerchief, girl? You gotta get your handkerchief.
Singing me.
Okay, so you guys, I'm just saying. So starting out with the whole life situation, I'm not gonna get into what you guys were doing before the marriage, but when you guys decided to hook up, first of all, how did y'all meet?
Right.
Hey guys, I'm Shaniqua again. We met in a group on Facebook, led by Cicely Turner, called Circle of Sisters.
Shout out to Cicely. Hey girl. Okay.
So that's how we met.
Okay, that's how y'all met. So this obviously was an online group.
Absolutely.
And you guys were chatting online.
Absolutely.
So let me guess.
Who was in who DM?
Look, I was just about to
She
say that.
stalked me like she was going.
Oh, you did?
She was like liking all my pictures for like 6-7 months.
Are you raising your hand?
Somebody press pause.
Okay.
Somebody press pause.
Okay.
Incorrect.
I enjoyed the stalk though.
Incorrecto. Okay, so go ahead.
She was cute or whatever.
Okay.
And we had a mutual friend at the time.
Okay.
So that's how I actually saw her pictures or whatever, and that's who invited me into the group.
Okay.
Bert. You know, she actually had another little admirer in the group.
Oh.
Yes.
That you were aware of.
I was, but I didn't care.
Okay. And obviously it didn't matter because you're the one that married.
I mean,
She's an instigator.
Okay.
She instigated.
I'm not an
Because
instigator.
guess what?
Am I instigating?
We hell no.
Okay, y'all here now, and y'all have been married since when? When did you guys? So you guys hooked up when? In what year?
2014.
2014, and you guys decided to get married in
2017.
2017. What month?
July.
Okay. So who proposed to who?
I did.
She proposed to me.
You proposed to her. Did you think she was gonna get away from you?
Oh, she wasn't going nowhere. She fought, she kicked, she tried, she pushed. But
I did.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you. So we're gonna. I want to pause that part of the story. So we have had the opportunity to have conversations together in the last couple of days. And last night, if you don't mind me mentioning, don't slap me. You can hit me after the show, but right now in the show, just don't bash me. You had mentioned to me that you were in a 15-year relationship prior to hooking up with Monique, which plays a major part into the life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We go through things. I know that you have been through things. I don't want to bring up anything from the past, but we go through things just as Shantae and I have in the past.
Yeah,
was that the reason? We what?
Fly to the airport.
We get facts. There you go. So my question is, did that have a reason or have anything to do with why you didn't propose to her first, or why you weren't, feeling that in the beginning,
Absolutely not, because I chose to stay single for like a year and a half to make sure that,
after.
15 years is a long time.
It
you
is.
got to make
That's
sure
a long
that you
time.
do have that closure.
Yeah.
So, she proposed to me. She just kind of beat me to it.
Okay, so
it.
it was so great minds think alike.
Absolutely.
In other words, you were in the process of doing that as well.
Yeah, I did. I fought it because, I was like, I'm scared.
Right.
I don't want to just step into something so fast because the feeling was so strong from the very beginning.
Okay.
Till I was afraid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I fought.
Right.
You know, we broke up 1,000,000 times.
Right.
I fought 1,000,000 times, and then it was just kind of like,
You just
it's
couldn't
either
pass
yay
it
or
up.
nay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Then
yeah.
you think about it, you don't want to pass things up. I don't know. Shantae, do you think that the reason when I came at you and saying that I didn't want to be with somebody, do you think that was the reason why I was saying that?
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
just feel like
serious.
you were within your closure phase. Like I feel like you were still finally learning how to fall in love with Erica.
Okay, so my question to you would be, do you feel like, why was it so much easier for you to get over your past when we hooked up than it was for me?
Because I was mentally disconnected in my past.
You had already clocked out.
I had already
So
clocked
was
out.
that for you
Like,
guys?
I mean,
'Cause
we
I
were
know
at
you were in a
the,
relationship.
I was there.
too.
Like,
Yeah, so my relationship previous to that, it was before we actually just went our separate ways. We were already like we were like
Disconnected. Okay.
mentally, emotionally.
So all you
like,
need to do is be able to
I just
pack
need to
your
move,
stuff up
yeah.
and go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You pack
so
your
it was
stuff
already
up.
like,
Yeah. Well, that's I think that's the reason why I was saying it. I was like, oh my God, if being in love is gonna kill me like
Right.
this, I don't want to be with nobody. So that's the reason why I say the life and the love thing, because you got to understand, for one, stuff that we go through in life is hard.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I think relationships, jobs, or careers, education, all that plays a part until
Right.
if we're uphill or if we downhill when it
Right.
comes to the life, you know.
absolutely.
And it determines how well you gonna make it in your relationship too.
That's true.
If you ask me, I don't know about y'all, but
Agreed.
hey, honey, huh?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I really feel like you have to in order to define what love means to you, because love is an action.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you can be in a relationship with someone, or you can be in a friendship with someone, and you automatically think that it's love, but they treating you bad, but you got somebody around and say, hey, I have a friend.
Absolutely.
And that's not what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you hooked up with each other, you guys obviously knew that, hey, this is it. This is the right one for me.
this ain't no Michael Jackson. This ain't it.
This is it, honey. This is it, like the TV show too.
Damn.
Shoot, this is it, honey. This is it. But okay, so getting into the whole love thing, because love, I won't say that right now. But
hold it down.
love is an action, definitely. Okay, so do you guys feel like, were y'all in love with each other when y'all got married, or there's a difference?
There's a
There
difference
is.
in loving somebody and being in love. You're
Uh-huh.
absolutely correct.
Okay, so do you mind defining what that means to you?
Well, my definition of when you love somebody, you can love, your family members, your children, friends, whatever. But there's still a limit.
Right.
When you're in love with somebody, it's an unconditional love.
Right.
No matter what that person does, what that person says, what you go through, you figure out how to work it out, but that love doesn't leave.
Okay.
It may alter a little bit,
Okay.
but it doesn't leave.
Right.
So that's my definition.
What about you? Is there a difference, or you pretty much feel the same as her?
I pretty much feel the same because you can love your car, you can love your
Like
pair
your
of
dog
shoes,
or whatever, right?
but you can be in love with different things and different people.
Right.
I can be in love with my car. If I lose it, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Right.
I can be in love with my wife. If I lose her, I'm going to lose my mind.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
Will you lose your mind?
Facts.
Babe, would you lose your mind if you?
Oh, yeah, so
Facts, but I got my pillow.
that pillow ain't like that.
Man,
y'all-
but
let me
listen,
tell you something about this
say,
pillow.
that body pillow that she tuck her feet under, I need that nerve.
Oh, you talking about the pillow at
I
the
mean,
bed?
They don't know
that
what
nerve.
pillow I'm talking about.
Okay, so
But
okay.
I have
as
a
long as
pillow.
my feet warm, she like a foot warm. If I get that pillow though, keep them feet warm.
Okay, well then that's a good deal then. That's a
That
whole.
ain't my pillow.
You might need okay. So you guys, Shantae has this thing that she's super in love with, and I understand. So she has an attachment with the pillowcase that her mother passed away on,
Absolutely.
and that was how many years? 15. 15 years ago. So it's kind of tied in knots, and
It ain't no pillowcase. It's unidentifiable.
it's unidentifiable, but that's what it was. And so what she does is she takes it, she either carries it by itself, or she takes it and she has a pillow with this weird material on it. And you guys, I promise you, if something happens to me, just as long as she has that pillow, I think she'll be okay. But at the end of the day, I think you love that pillow more than you love me. And everybody knows that. Everybody, except
But
for
my
you
thing
two
is-
ladies,
It's different.
everybody
But
that
it's
knows
different,
it's
though.
different because there's an attachment to
I've grown an emotional
someone.
attachment to. I've had a pillow since I was a kid.
And your mom never broke you from that.
No,
She never broke
like
you
when
from
I was
that.
I had a pillow as a baby. Like I had that pillow until I lost it one day, and then I migrated to
Oh,
another
because
pillow.
baby, let me tell y'all off the subject. We were in San Antonio one time, and we were visiting a friend, and we were getting ready to leave San Antonio, and we got in the car, and we got on the freeway, and Shantae was like, "Oh my gosh, where's my pillow?" She made me turn all the way back around.
I can feel it.
We couldn't
Facts.
find
You're not
this
gonna go
pillow. So there's things that we're attached to. Okay, we can say that. There's things that we're attached to. But at the end of the day, when you love a person, y'all, I have to say this real quick. When you love a person, it doesn't mean that if I say I love you, but I'm putting my hands on you and beating you up every day and abusing you and stuff, is that still love?
No, love doesn't hurt. I mean, it's not physical.
Love doesn't hurt,
It's not
but when
physical
you're
pain.
in love with a person, it's unconditional, right?
True.
You're gonna accept everything that comes along with it.
Right.
What's the difference? Do you know what the difference is?
And what?
The difference between what you're supposed to accept as love, quote unquote, and what you're not supposed to accept. Because I can say that I love you all day. That's why I feel like women and men are in relationships where they're being abused and they don't know how to escape because love takes over.
Right.
But love's not supposed to hurt.
Well, like the difference for me is like if you put in your hands and you're physically abusive, although that person still loves you, that's telling them that you don't love them. So it makes no sense for me to give you my love and love you in return.
Right.
If you're gonna put your hands on me. So I still love you on my end, but
Right.
the fact that I know you couldn't possibly love me as much as I love you, because we're physical.
Yeah, that's
I'ma
true.
let you go.
But sometimes when you be with a person, or I have close encounters with people all the time, and they're like, I'm going through this, and I'm encountering this situation with this person, and I'm like, well, I'm not the one to tell you to leave somebody,
Right.
but the question would be, well, why don't you leave him, or why don't you leave her?
Easier said
Why
than
is
done.
it? It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Or the question is, why don't you do something about it? Well, because I love him,
Yeah.
or because I love her. Well, do you really? Is that really love?
Right.
Right.
So you have to be able to distinguish in life
Right.
whether you're receiving love or some other BS coming from somebody and you think it's love, because
But-
it's two differences. If you
For a
ask me.
person that's been through so much physical abuse, to them that
It is love. They don't know how to
I'm saying?
love.
They don't know
They don't know
how
how
to alter
love
the
lives.
difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Or do y'all think that sometimes when a person is growing up and they see like one of their
Facts.
parents getting beat up, or they feel like that's the
That's
way
okay.
that they're
So that's
supposed
what
to
they
be
saw.
loved.
Right, because that's the example that they've been
They
shown.
show.
That's
Right.
been shown or been said.
So
right?
sometimes, because love is an action, so if you witness love in a certain type of way, if you have parents that are loving and they wake up and all you see them is hug and cuddle and kiss
Yeah.
and I love you,
Right.
then that's what you perceive that you need is love.
Right.
But if you grow up and you see your parents fighting,
Fighting all the
arguing all the
time.
time and throwing things or whatever,
Yes.
then you feel like your parents love each other,
Right.
but this is how they act. So then
Right. So
you
that's what
perceive
you're
that
gonna
that
search.
action is love.
Yeah.
You
So that's
become
what you're gonna.
aggressive.
That's what you're gonna
Yeah,
search
that's
for.
what you portray.
So that, in a whole, to me, is the life and the love.
Yeah.
So whatever we see growing up, pretty much to me, is how you gonna love a person, or how you gonna show affection to a person,
Facts.
or how you're not gonna show love and
Facts.
affection. Shantae, you brought up that to me before. You said that your mother would always come bearing gifts.
She did.
And-
So she did that to replace my dad because I grew up without my dad.
Oh,
So
see, that's deep.
It was a mechanism. Hey, if I buy her everything she wants, she won't miss her love of my
Right.
dad or the love that he's absent from her. So everything was a yes.
So when we first
So I'm
met,
spoiled.
but when we first met, I would never forget. A couple of months after we met, my birthday came up, and we were working together. And she came to work with a bag of gifts, and she was gifting me. And I was like, "Why are you doing this?" Because I wasn't used to that.
That's what she was
I
used
wasn't.
to that.
That's how she
So
showed.
she showed you a different
She
light.
showed
Yeah.
me a different way to show love
Love,
to a
right,
person
right.
because of that. I wasn't used to the whole bearing gifts. So when we first hooked up, I didn't know how to gift her. Shoot, you was helping me gift the last person that I was
I
with
was.
because I don't know how to do that. I saw my parents gift each other, but how they loved and showed love was my mom cooked and cleaned and made sure the house was together, and she worked. Dad brought home the bacon, and he made sure we was
Right.
together for summers and stuff like that. So they shared a different type of relationship, but that all affects how I love you.
Right.
You know, how I show my love and affection towards you, because it is an action. You can't say love and don't show it.
Right.
Right.
That's real. That's the whole life. Now, I want to get into the marriage thing because
It's hard. It takes work.
okay, but
It does.
okay, but we cannot say it's hard. Don't.
It's hard. Let me tell you why.
Why is it hard?
Because number one, we're all women, so it makes our
Woo!
marriage harder.
How you feel about that?
You know, we are all women. I
We
don't know
are,
if
so-
necessarily what makes it harder because we are very emotional beings.
Facts.
Yeah.
So
when you
when-
got two emotional beings in the
Exactly.
house, sometimes
So
it work.
emotions battling emotions and feelings, and
Yeah.
so you do have to kind of muddle through that
You do.
a little bit.
You do.
Like
Yeah.
navigate your way through.
So, with that being said, I want to say this to our audience real quick first before we get into the depth of the marriage thing. If there are people out there listening or watching our show today, do not be so quick to be judgmental towards gay marriages, because marriage is marriage.
Facts.
When you sign that piece of paper, it looks just like the paper that heterosexual people sign.
Facts.
That
Facts.
certificate has two names on it, a signature of the officiant, and a signature of a judge,
And the seal of
and the
approval.
seal of approval. It is all
The
the same.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the show and you're engaged and then you become disengaged because we're talking about gay marriages or lesbian relationships or lesbian marriages, that does not make a difference. Marriage is marriage. And like Shantae said, at some point it's tough. It's two people coming together as one, combining families, combining hearts, combining, togetherness regardless. It
Right.
doesn't matter. So I do want to make that is my disclaimer before we get into it. Now, as far as marriage, is this your first marriage,
Yes.
Shaniqua? This is
Yes.
and this of course is not your first marriage, and this is not.
This is my first one.
It is. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Monique first.
Okay.
All right. So what made you feel like you were ready? What was the seal? What sealed the deal when it came to wanting to marry Shaniqua?
That Peter.
Oh,
Wow.
can you press pause? Oh my gosh.
Somebody
I am not about to play with
find her a
Shantae.
time
She
out
needs
corner.
look, we are going to put this over her mouth. here.
That was not simply splendid.
It was
I'm
not
sorry.
simply splendid,
I
darling.
just keep it 100.
She
I'm
talking
not.
about
I'm
that
over
Peter.
it. It's
She
Google.
talking about that Peter. Okay, all right. Enough with the Peter talk. All right. So what sealed the deal besides the Peter?
Nah, but so it was different. The relationship was different.
Okay.
The feelings was different. I felt things that I never felt before.
Okay.
With her, and I've been a lesbian my whole life.
Okay.
So, when it came to the love and things like that, those were things that I knew that I wanted for the long term.
Okay.
So that was it for me. Like, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I've been searching for.
Okay.
So then that's the deal for me.
Okay, so if that was the deal for you, was there anything that made you think or second guess that you were about to make the approach? Like, did you second guess anything? Like, you love her, you love her for her. You knew you wanted to be married with her. You knew you wanted to spend the rest of your life with her.
Right.
But was there anything that said, that's gonna have to change?
In life, there's always.
I want you to
something
be
that
honest,
happens.
though.
You know what I'm saying? So there's always things that happens. Like we said, it's harder for us in marriage, and it's also hard in just a relationship. Period.
It is.
So with the relationship being the foundation, you do go through things. So there are some things that like, well, do I really want to do this? Is this something that I really want to deal with?
Yeah.
Forever.
Right.
So that's when that part of love versus in love
Okay.
kicks in.
Okay.
So yes, I'm in love with her. Yes, we're going through this right now. But are we going to get through this?
You will.
And can we get through
Right.
this if it happens again?
Right. Okay. I like
good.
that answer. So what about you, Shaniqua? What?
It's basically the same with me. It's just kind of like she said, I fought for the longest, but I knew that once I made the decision to get married
Okay.
and to accept the proposal,
Okay.
I was like, I only want to do this once.
Okay.
I don't want to do this again.
Okay.
And there were some battles, there were some struggles, but I knew for a fact that 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 this was my person.
This was your person.
This was
Because
my
you
person.
did mention to me yesterday that she's your soulmate.
Yeah, she is.
And
Yes.
I
You're not
now
supposed to tell her I said
I
that.
strongly feel like at first, honestly, I didn't feel like Shantae was my soulmate. Because we have had and still do have communication issues. However,
But you have to learn how to stop running. You can't hit the door every time.
and you know what? I want to
Erica's
say
a
that
runner.
I'm not going to say that I am now because I am learning. When the thing is, when you get into an argument or you get into a fight or disagreement,
Right.
the first thing that I was used to saying was, "I'm done. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do it. This is not for me. I don't think I'm the one for you." And
It's
this and
easier
that
for
and
you to
that.
leave than to deal with the situation.
But over the years, because Shantae and I are about to celebrate 5 years together in a relationship, yay, 5 years. Thank you. And I really feel like I'm learning, and I have learned over the years to not do that. Yeah, when you're with somebody in a marriage, yes, you're gonna make me mad. You're gonna do things that hurt my feelings. You're gonna say stuff that I don't like. But I'm willing to say this: Shantae loves my dirty draws. And I really, she loves my dirty draws. And at the end of the day, I can deal with it. Y'all, that's the reason why we started this whole podcast. If we're in front of people, in front of an audience, we are forced to communicate on a decent level without raising our
There you
voices,
have it.
without getting loud,
There you
and
have
this,
it.
that, or whatever. So, with all that being said, I want to say this. You guys, marriage is not tough, but it can be difficult at times.
it takes work.
It takes work. I don't know what it is about after you say I do,
It's a difference.
It is.
and I'm looking at
It's
both.
real.
I'm looking at all of y'all.
It is.
I didn't think, okay, I've been married before. It was different because I didn't want to do it. It was something I didn't want to do.
Because
I
she
wasn't
cried.
gonna-
You should know you didn't want to do it when you was crying the whole
Well,
time.
I cried at the altar, but I cried because
She didn't
I
wanna
was
do
mad
it.
at myself because I didn't want to do it. And I knew I shouldn't have been doing it. I knew I shouldn't have done it. So that was a mistake on my behalf. But this time around, if you guys were at the wedding and if y'all would have been at the wedding, I cried and cried and cried and cried because I knew that I had found someone that was accepting me for me. And that was loving me for me. You know what I'm saying?
Tears of
And when
joy.
you find somebody, it's the difference between tears of pain and tears of joy. I was at the altar. I was pissed. I was pissed at the first one.
The
I was
ugly
mad.
cry.
I was
ugly.
but this one here, Shantae has showed me a whole new something. She's showed me a whole new life, and she brings so much joy into my life. And sometimes I just want to throw bottles at the side of her head.
Oh.
But you guys, when you get married, it's time to say
Can
I
have
do.
alcohol in them?
These.
Oh, you said bottles. I just want to make sure.
No. We not talking about where my bottle at. Y'all took
We
my.
stole it.
I done brought some liquor up in here, and these heifers done took my.
It's in the liquor corner.
Is that the liquor corner over there?
Timeout.
Okay, it's in timeout. Okay,
Spicy.
so I want to ask my wife. Hey, honey.
Hi.
Um,
I'm scared. No, I'm just playing.
no. How did you know? Because
Oh, yeah.
in our relationship, it was a little bit different. So she said to me, she mentioned to me, "Hey, why don't we get married?" And I'm thinking, I don't even like you like that. But that's how it was. It's just how I felt.
Right.
But how did you feel, or how did you know that I was the person? Because you obviously said it in the office. How did you know that?
You just kind of, I believe in the tale of love at first sight. When I saw you, I was like, this is it.
Why?
I mean, it was. Like, when I saw you, I was like, this is it. And didn't I told the whole job.
She
I
told everybody in
around
that office.
Didn't nobody believe me, but I knew. And Neil, we're drinking Jim Beam.
Oh, Jim Beam apple.
Yeah.
But I know that you don't like Jim
This is
Beam.
Neil Simple.
Okay, we know he likes Crown.
Oh.
So get your Crown. This is water, but get your Crown and have a shot for me and you. I miss you, buddy.
Okay.
But
I just knew. Like, I mean, I believe in love at first sight. When I saw you, I was like, And then.
you
I couldn't-
didn't even know
But
me.
I didn't know, but I knew of you, though. I told you I did my homework, girl.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't know of each other. Y'all just was in the
Let
group.
let me say, we was in the group, and then, I had already kind of paid attention to her before, but I am shy, even though,
We
I'm
can't
not
tell.
outspoken.
I'm shy too.
No, I promise.
Girl,
I'm very, very
stop
shy.
lying.
Erica, you know I'm
Girls,
So
are
it's-
you shy too? Let me guess, you shy too.
Yeah, she is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't shy.
Simply shy.
Well,
So,
y'all do well. Y'all do
It's,
well.
it's kind of
with
like when I
that.
noticed her liking all the pictures from before. I was like, okay, so she must be kind of digging me a little bit. So I started investigating.
Okay.
And then it just, we had a event, and I asked our mutual friend to invite her. I was
Okay.
like, see, she was like, she ain't gonna get out the house. She ain't gonna this. I was like, just try to invite her.
Girl, I was not gonna go.
No, she wasn't.
Oh, you weren't?
I was looking at the invite in the group. I was laying on the couch watching TV with the drink, mind you. She get up.
But what made you jump up and go?
Cause she did.
Because it was me.
Oh.
Come on, you better
Oh,
say
come
that.
through, boo.
'Cause it was me. Like,
Come through, boo. Okay, so with the next question that I want to ask you guys. So, and this is all with all honesty, y'all. Please be honest. Is there anything that you regret getting married to each other?
Is there anything we regret for getting married or anything we just regret, period?
Just that you regret, period. Like, and I'm only asking that because sometimes you feel like you could be somewhere in life if you wanted to win a certain direction.
Well, I don't regret anything about the marriage, but I most sincerely regret the running that I did because I wasted a lot of time running. When we could have been.
That's a good
a good
point.
one.
We
Oh,
could
I
have
like
been
that.
on a whole different level, and it took me so long to get comfortable with it. Just like, okay, this is it. This is what I pray for.
Okay.
Don't think because we're lesbians that we don't pray. And
Oh
God
my
doesn't
gosh,
love
we
us,
got to talk about that
because
real
He
quick.
does, and I'm a
He
praying
loves us
woman.
all.
My wife is the praying woman, so it's
We
kinda
are
like,
too. Right.
although I respect God, I had a certain way of how I would ask for things in my prayer as
Okay.
into my next partner.
Okay.
So everything that I asked for, God sent me in her.
Good.
And He let me know that it was her, but I was like,
Okay, being
nah,
stubborn,
yeah,
right?
stubborn. I'm only child, so,
Right.
Being stubborn, but,
Both of y'all on this side
I
of the
knew,
table.
but
Stubborn.
it just, I ran, so that's the only thing I regret. I don't regret. We've had plenty of arguments.
Okay.
We're not physical, but we've had some arguments where we didn't think we were going to make it.
Okay.
I don't
Same
take
here. I
those
mean, and I
back.
think
Yeah.
everybody
I'm
goes
gonna
through
make
that
it. She ain't
because
gonna
you
win.
guys, regardless if you
Yeah.
are in a heterosexual relationship or a lesbian marriage, whatever, it's all the same. You all go through the same stuff. Just because it's two women in the marriage don't mean that we don't go through the same stuff. We go through the same issues that heterosexual people go through, and I do want to keep saying that because it's no different. Marriage is marriage. It's two people come together, like I said. So is there anything, Monique, that you have regret or had regret for that you didn't do or something before the marriage?
No.
No regret?
Better not.
I have one.
Did you?
I have a regret, and I mean this with, I'm going to say this with all honesty. I regret not completely healing before I asked her to marry me.
Makes sense.
Because I know that my past issues have given her a hard time. I don't mean it intentionally. Excuse
I'm
me.
just playing. Okay.
I shake my hair.
Hurry up, for
No, but I regret not, and I knew that I wasn't healed. And that's why I told Shantae in the beginning, I don't want a girlfriend because I knew that I wasn't right with myself. I knew
But you wouldn't let me go home.
I wouldn't let you go home, girl, because, girl.
How you gonna win when you
Hey,
ain't right with him?
on there, looking here, hey. But I regret, and you guys, healing is important for self.
It is.
Because how in the world can you love somebody and you don't love yourself?
Right.
So I think that I needed to finish completely learning to love myself again before we hooked up. That's one thing that I regret, but I'm working on it. Still, to this day. You get them? Why are you looking?
I'm listening to you.
I like your earrings.
Girl, quit getting out the
They
stage.
are cute though.
It's
So
fitting.
I do need a pair.
It's cute.
I got you, girl.
She got you. We got you covered.
Appreciate ya.
Anyway, so that's exactly how I feel. I'm not gonna ask Shantae because she.
Do I regret something?
Do you regret? No. On a serious note, do you regret anything?
No, I'm
See?
happy I packed that bag and left. Let me tell you though, my marriage, what I was in, I left. Whatever didn't fit in that suitcase didn't go. I left everything. I didn't
did.
care.
She
The whole
did.
house. If it couldn't fit in the suitcase, it didn't go. I'm talking about Tupperware containers. I'm talking about stuff from my mama's funeral. And she thought she was doing me dirty because she threw all this stuff in the trash. But again, you can't take my mama from me. I don't care what kind of.
She did, and I thought that was
you can't
messed
take
up.
my mama from me.
I thought
point
that
blank
was
in the
real
period.
messed up.
I didn't have none of her. I didn't have her
Her obituary.
I didn't have none of that. So one of my friends was like, "Oh, you can have mine. I'll just make a copy and you can keep mine."
That was
I mean, but you didn't hurt me though.
Right.
I'm still here.
Okay, so what was the reason why you didn't want to unpack your bags
At you?
at my house?
Because I didn't know if you was ready. So when I moved in with
Okay,
Erica, I had my
can
own closet. She had
I gave
two
her a
closets.
closet.
She had a sliding closet and another closet on the side. So she gave me a closet. I still stayed in my suitcase until I felt like
I was like, when you gonna
I
unpack
don't.
these
You know how you
bags?
move in with somebody and you don't just want
Right.
to pose and take
Right.
over.
Right.
I didn't do any of that. I stayed in my suitcase until she told me, "Hey, baby, it's really time for you to unpack."
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that you were ready and you were comfortable, and at any time that I needed to leave, I didn't want to.
That's true.
pressure
I
on
feel
you.
you. I feel
Real
you.
talk. So,
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't sure in the beginning if I wanted to bring her home to my parents.
Baby.
I already
Ready.
struggled with a couple of issues. My parents really don't accept the whole lesbian
Yeah.
life, but at the end of the day, I had done enough, and they had done seen me go through enough, and I think they were tired of seeing it. So I was really, really afraid to take her home to my. So in the beginning, my parents were like, "We're coming over," and I was like, "Girl, you gotta go. You can't come."
But let me
You
tell
cannot
though,
be
but we
here
were
right
together.
now.
It was
You
funny.
have to leave.
I did. I left.
She
I
left.
passed it. I left, but I didn't go home. I went around the corner because I knew she was gonna call me back.
I was gonna,
I didn't
and
go
I
home.
did, and I did. So, Mom and Dad, if you listen, that is what happened. That is the truth.
Yeah.
But that right there is cool. Okay, so next portion of this here, ladies.
Hold on. Let me ask a
What?
question. I want to ask Shanika a question. So because Monique proposed to you, and Monique's never been married, have you ever thought about, even though you guys are married, to setting up an engagement or proposal for her?
Absolutely, that was already in the works.
That is a good question.
It was
I
already
did
in
it
the
for
works before
Erica.
the
She
pandemic.
did.
I did.
That was so sweet. Let me
I
tell
did
you
it
a
for
story.
Erica.
Let me tell you a story, y'all. So on my birthday, I think, was that my birthday? One of my birthdays, I don't know how old I was turning, but on one of my birthdays, she surprised me and took me on a vacation. We were out in Frisco at the Star,
Yeah.
Omni Hotel. And she was like, "Oh yeah, we got the room, whoop de whoop." So we go in there. She said, she was like, "Babe, just sit down, have a seat." And I was like, "Oh, this is nice." It was nice. It was overview of the whole, stadium and all that. So I was like, "Okay, cool." I sat down, and y'all, she proposed to me.
Sweet.
And she gave me a ring, and she was like, "I just want," and I was like, "Babe, I already proposed to you." I'm sitting up crying and got tears, but I thought that was really,
That's
really
sweet.
sweet
It
because it's important for
It
you
is.
to know that your love means just as much to her as it means to you, and vice versa. So you got to make sure that that you show the love just as well.
I mean, that's true.
as
We're
you.
all women, and everybody know, like, as a kid, "Oh my God, I want this big old beautiful wedding.
Right.
I want to have this grand proposal,
Right.
or whatever." So when what I'm saying, so I was like, "Oh, okay, she proposed to me, but Erica's a woman too. I'm pretty sure she had that dream
Right.
in her."
I
so
can
that's the way I
appreciate you
talk about
saying
it.
that.
So it's just like,
I can appreciate
like,
that.
real talk.
I can appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to elaborate on it a little bit
Go
more
ahead.
on my end. It was in the works, but still, I had that thing on the inside that said I didn't want her to feel like her proposal wasn't good enough.
Right.
So it stalled me for a little while.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's-
the only
that makes
reason I
sense.
wanted to propose again, we was actually going to, redo the marriage, just
Okay.
her and I, I was like, okay, we've been through some rough times.
Okay.
Let's start fresh.
Right.
But then that's what stopped me from proposing because I didn't want her to feel like, my wife's a sensitive person.
And you
Yeah,
know what?
so
You
I
have to
wanna
be
be like,
careful
oh,
how
I
you
want-
present
yeah,
stuff.
right.
You do.
But
You
I
have to be
asked her, I
careful.
was like, if I was to propose to you again, would you say
feel
yes?
about that?
Like,
That would turn it up a notch.
Not
No, you better look. You better be saying something. Yeah, yeah, not no. So that's a good point, though. I like that point. So with all that being said, you ladies have been married since 2017, so that makes 3 years, right?
correct.
3? Am I right? 18, 19, 3, 4. Finna go on 4 years, right?
long
Oh. Take the camera off her. She. No, I'm just playing. I was just playing. Okay, so you guys, y'all are working on 4 years, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have came up with a group called Infinity and a Bond.
To infinity. And
Two and ooh,
it's
see, I
kind of
need to get
like
together.
Toy Story, like Buzz Lightyear. He says to infinity and beyond.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was like, oh.
Okay, so you want me to?
Yes, that's her definition.
Okay, so you guys, to infinity and beyond. Now let me explain this first, okay? When I first was introduced to infinity and beyond,
Yeah.
I was puzzled. I ain't gonna lie.
It's lit.
I was puzzled because I'm wondering
Yeah.
why is my wife being her time is being consumed with to infinity and beyond.
They made I was accepted. They made me a moderator. Oh, let me go.
Oh, they did.
That's what I'm saying. So they made me a moderator. I was like, oh, okay.
Because you know you got to be careful.
Right, you know,
Somebody trying to get in her drawers or
Oh,
somebody
wow.
trying to, that's the first thing that came to my mind. So when I first was introduced to it, I can't get it.
Just put the number in right. Don't act like you don't know my code.
You probably changed it.
I probably did.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you?
Okay, so
It's
with all that being said, and then I saw some of the questions, you know.
She probably came in on the nasty.
You guys, the questions on I get it now. Oh, she turning her head around, so we finna really get into this real quick. So I started seeing some of the questions. I'm not gonna repeat some of the questions that I have seen in this group, but it makes sense to me now.
Yep.
These questions be awkward questions. Now, I've had the opportunity to sit down with Shaniqua and Monique, and Shaniqua thinks a lot like me. She has a overthinking brain that comes up with crazy questions that nobody asked, you know, and these questions are kind of nasty sometimes, so they have this whole little thing, there it is, they have this whole little thing where be yourself.
Facts.
No judgment.
And before I say this, no judgment. Before I say this, I do want you guys to know that in order to live a decent life, you have to be honest with yourself and other people.
Absolutely.
That's real. So as I'm starting, so I had a couple of people ask, well, why don't you respond to these questions in the group? For one, I'm a barber, and sometimes I don't sit down until a day or two later, and I'm like, this question was from 3 days ago, so I'm not going to answer.
She working on it. She getting better.
Okay, so this group that you guys have created, To Infinity and Beyond, I want to read the definition of what this group is about, and then we can elaborate. So this group was created to help you understand what you have or what you don't have, what you need or what you don't need, your blessings from your holdups, that there are women who think like you and act like you, that they're not the only one going through changes, that you're not the only one lacking affection, that you're not the only one that cries alone, that you're not the only one afraid to give all of you, that you're not the only one who's had a broken heart, that it's okay to be in love, that it's okay to be happy, etc. We may have a different way of doing it, but our goal is to help one another grow, learn, and be free to love ourselves as well as others. When I read that what the group is all about, it changed my mind. Because so now I understand what these
Questions.
open-ended questions that you be asking, stuff like that. So right now, I want you guys to elaborate. For one, there's not a whole bunch of people in this group. Y'all have how many people?
It's like 61.
61 people who you guys request to respond
Right.
to these questions and games that you guys play. Now go ahead and give me some elaboration on what To Infinity and Beyond was and who came up with the idea.
So it was my wife's idea.
Okay.
To Infinity and Beyond.
Okay.
We've all been a part of other groups or whatever on Facebook.
Okay.
And we've actually said it a couple times for a couple of years. We could do our own group. And then she was like, I really want to do my own group. I was like, okay, we'll start it, babe.
Okay. So
I started it because, like I say, we have special days for certain things. Like
you do.
Everybody knows our Sunday is
Oh,
it's nasty time.
that's
It's the nasty hour, which means you have to be kind of careful how you word things because I already got 2 strikes.
Okay, we don't want you to get boobed it off. So.
But it's questions, and some people may read it and be like, ew, did she really ask that?
Yeah.
Or did they really ask that? And my purpose for asking it is not to pry your business, but you never know
who's
who
struggling
can
with
help.
what?
You know what I'm saying? You don't never know who's arguing in their household about no affection, or when's the last time you kissed me,
Right.
or when the last time you gave me a hug.
Right.
And when you read these, you kind of feel like, oh, I ain't the only one that ain't got no hug.
Right,
You know? Oh, I ain't the only one that don't cook.
Right.
I ain't the only one that, you know, or I'm not the only one that feels like this. I'm not the only one that cries.
Right.
And there are straight people in this group too.
Right.
So
There
you
are.
have those straight couples that read these questions like, these questions are coming from a woman, but it can also help me and my husband.
It can.
Shout out to
You know
Victoria.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just kind of a difference like that, and we try to be motivational. You know, we try to keep everybody uplifted. You know, we do crack jokes and
I
things
see a
like
little
that.
bit of
It's just-
everything in your
some of
group, from the
everything.
games
Yeah.
to motivating, support.
Right.
Even on the questions, like you say, at first I was like, because somebody asked me, they was like, why you don't respond to the nasty stuff? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm kind of shy when it comes to that. And
I respond for both of them.
yeah, you respond for
She
both.
does. I be
like, my wife
then
gonna
I'll,
be,
then
no.
I'll go on there and
She's
find
a
myself
wonderful
loving it. I'm like,
moderator.
okay, let me start. But from the games that you play, the scavenger hunts, it's interaction with a lot of
Right.
different people.
It's
you
like
know?
with the scavenger hunt. When I thought of that, I was like, you know, you never know when somebody's going through something. As I said,
It
so you
helps.
may have somebody sitting there that done had a jacked up day.
That's
Okay,
true.
You
that's
know?
true.
So
if
true.
I take your mind, if you allow me to take your mind out of that spot
Okay.
in the scavenger hunt that
That
we
was
did on
right,
Friday,
yeah.
Right.
you're like, you're not thinking about what
Or we
you
was
went
in the
through at
car and I
home.
was having fun. We
I
was
was
on
no,
stage
literally. I was
playing.
I had to go to my job to pick up something. I was like, ooh, I read this, and so normally when stuff comes through in the group, I try to be really active in this group.
And you
Okay.
are.
And so
You are.
I was like, oh, a
Very.
scavenger hunt. And I was like, oh, I ain't did no scavenger hunt since I was a kid.
Right.
I was ready. I was like, okay. And I started looking at stuff. I was like, okay, a pencil. It's a pencil right here.
Yeah.
Let me do my thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then it's kind of like other stuff when you put,
Yeah.
like when I put the pictures up and do like,
Oh, who
name
this, who
this
this
child.
is? Yeah.
And
Right.
you do have certain
It's a
people
lot of fun.
that'll be like, we don't know these.
That was me.
people.
I'm
Exactly.
Zambia people.
I was like, I bet
I
you
was
do.
right there with you. Papa, who
It's a way to
Okay.
get your mind thinking. Yeah.
It's true,
a
though.
way
It
to
really
get your mind
does.
thinking.
Yeah.
It does, but I can say that I truly appreciate the group.
Thank
you guys,
you.
I do not respond like I'm supposed
It's
to.
okay. We know
But
you're
I
busy.
always catch it late. I ain't gonna lie to you. I catch it late, but I will do better. But at the end of the day, I
You're
like
good.
the fact that you interact
Thank
with,
you.
with people, and it does help. It helps people say, you know what,
It does.
I'm going through this, but dang, it's a couple other ladies. And
That's
then
going through it
you
too.
always backdoor it. You do something funny, but you backdoor it with something
positive
or serious.
inspirational,
Right.
Right.
or something she does.
Right. So I appreciate that. If you are struggling out there with anything, don't be afraid to be a part of groups, and don't be so quick to be discriminating against the lesbian crowd, because
Right.
we have the same type of relationship issues as heterosexual relationships.
Facts.
This life, love, marriage, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you have a passion for helping people because of your career,
Right.
that you work with people in the hospital, and you love, you know, just people,
people
period.
person,
And you
yeah.
want to see people do well.
That's it.
And that right there is enough for me
That's
to
it.
support. Now, we don't have that much time left on the show, so I know that To Infinity and Bond was not a long part of the segment, but I want people to know that you guys can be a part of the group. You have to follow.
You have to be invited.
Okay, so I want you to explain, moderator.
You have to be invited.
Okay.
You just can't go on there. Well, I want to be in this group, girl.
So can people request to be
They can,
They can
and everybody
request.
doesn't have to be of the LGBTQ
Right.
lifestyle.
Everybody
We
can
welcome
be there.
everybody.
Right,
It's
right.
To Infinity and a Bun. Like we don't want it to be over 100.
Right.
We'll never get over 100.
Right.
members. You know that bun.
Keep it
that'll
small.
last. That's it.
keep it small?
We want to keep it intimate so that people feel comfortable. Because when
Right.
groups grow too big, then
That's when
you
it starts
lose
getting
that.
messy.
Yeah.
It start getting
So you
yeah.
lose that. We don't ever want anybody to feel uncomfortable because that's not the point of the group.
Right.
But if you are going to request or be invited, we do ask that you be active in the group.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
So
participate in.
you're right, and participate.
Okay.
Be active,
So
hey.
hey, they understand
I'ma
my.
keep
They
you out.
understand. So I do want to say a couple of other things. As far as how you guys, what the other stuff that you guys do. So y'all travel just like we do. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Y'all travel. So I do see that you guys have a YouTube channel called
Absolutely.
what is it?
The Baileys conquer the world.
Okay, and what is your YouTube channel about? The Baileys Conquer the World. So y'all just everything.
Everything.
Traveling, cooking
Dates.
vlogs, makeup vlogs,
They be sleeping
dates.
in ghost hotels.
We have
Yeah.
adult
That
combo,
hotel
ghost
was fire.
hotel.
Okay. Okay, so it just covers you guys' lives.
Right.
The videos that I have seen, I was like, shoot, because when y'all went to, where was that y'all went? Mexico? Just
Cancun.
recently?
Cancun.
Cancun. I was like, hey, we should have went with them. I mean, what was up?
For real.
So you
Y'all
guys,
should have.
they travel,
No.
they live their lives, and they just put you in their lives by recording the things that they do and that they participate in. So if you do want to follow the Baileys, you can do that on YouTube at the Baileys Conquer the World. and you guys can go and subscribe and follow these two wonderful women. And then what else would I was gonna ask her something else.
I don't know. You got short-term memory loss. You take a ginkgo?
You see how she do? If it wasn't for my audience already knowing that I take ginkgo to keep my memory together, I'm letting you ladies know.
like that.
She should be out there, but they already know.
herself
So I'm
out
just
there.
letting y'all know I do take a little ginkgo every now and then, so I keep my memory
Ain't
together.
nothing, man.
You know? Oh, okay. Well,
I had a
just
couple
an
shots before we
FYI.
started, so I
Just
can't
an
judge.
FYI.
Non-judgmental.
Oh, okay. To
No
infinity
judgment
and
zone.
beyond. Okay. But I was gonna, I forgot it was something
You
else
gonna
that I was
ask them?
gonna.
I don't know.
I was gonna ask her something else.
You gonna bring her back?
Oh, I just want to put you guys out there and say this. I appreciate and what
My
I'm
soul
seeing. I appreciate that you guys want to have a good time. These are two ladies that we're going on the cabin trip with.
Turn
They
up.
put special little trips together for intimate couples and for us to come together.
That's
and
right.
Do you know how long I've been fighting to get on one of their cabin trips?
Really?
I want to say for a few years.
I've been fighting for a minute.
For a few years.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
It's
Because
just
I want
stuff
to
be
say,
coming up, and I paid the
weren't we
price.
supposed to go
It
on
was
one?
before, and
Yeah.
it was something happened. I was like, girl, I'm gonna
Well,
go.
Okay, well, we'll be at this when you guys, we're just going to get
Absolutely.
together. Not too much. We going to social
I'm
distance.
telling y'all, better subscribe to that YouTube because it's about to be lit.
It's
Like,
gonna
we're
be
lit on
litty.
this trip
It's
right
gonna
here.
be litty. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have fun. It's just a few couples. How many couples?
And we ain't sharing with
Five.
Facebook. Gotta subscribe to
Five.
YouTube.
Five couples will get together in a big cabin out in Broken Bow, and we are going to have the time of our life for the Super Bowl weekend. So if you guys want to see what's going on in the Baileys and the McDade's live, you guys can tune into their YouTube channel at The Baileys Conquer the World, and you can watch us also on YouTube at the McDade's podcast. So with that, we have a few more minutes, honey.
Hey,
So, is there anything that you would like to add to this? See, sometimes she come on stage. Sometimes she come on stage and she's
your
all
wife.
full. She's all full of life.
no, let me tell you, we talk prior to our shows. And
We do.
I do.
We
well.
waste
I be
all the
so-
energy.
I be so happy because you do well. Because you be
Yes,
showing.
it
Oh, because I like to talk,
That's me.
and I'm just gonna let you know. So, as a recap, can I recap now?
Yeah, come on.
Recap, because I don't have no juicy topics today.
Why you ain't got no just a topic?
Because I don't know what did happen on the
Ooh,
news
shout out to
today.
Trump. Bye.
Oh,
Deuces.
we already talked
Well, I'm
about
just saying bye.
about the crazy.
About to go.
Bye.
We
Bye.
we really
Biden
Bye.
finna come in.
Bye.
Bye, dear.
And like Mr. Kenneth from Washington would say, I'm not responsible for your feelings.
Facts.
I'm not responsible for your feelings. So if your feelings hurt that he got to get out the office, that's on you.
That's
We
him.
are not
He's
responsible for the
your
way that
feelings.
you feel. And I love that, and we're going to stay with that. I'm not
That's it.
responsible for your feelings. So as a recap, you guys, life, love, marriage, no marriage, single, it doesn't matter. In your life, it is important to remain happy and do things that make you happy because you
Facts.
only live once. YOLO.
Absolutely.
You have
Get
to-
out there, have some fun. What were you going
You
to
have to
say?
remember how to choose you first. The one
Shoot,
thing I can
that's
say,
right.
I got lost. I forgot
did.
about me trying to complete somebody else.
Right.
Like really, like real
That-
talk.
that's
So,
deep.
I mean, you have to learn how
Makes
to
sense.
make you happy. You can't make anybody else happy if you're not happy.
Right.
Real talk.
You can't, and you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself. So
Right.
previous shows we have spoke about affirmations and loving yourself and making sure that you're investing in self. 2021, do something real small for yourself. Learn to love you a little bit better. And I'm going to work on that too, because sometimes I get so caught up in everything else that I forget to pay attention to what my needs and wants are.
I won't
And
let her forget.
my wife is
She
really
won't.
good for that. She'll say, babe, when the last time you bought yourself something?
Right.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went and did this for
Something
yourself?
for
So the
you.
other day, I was like, babe, hop online. I'm gonna buy myself a
some
pair of new
Clippers.
Clippers. You know what I'm saying? And I
was
I
like,
make a ton of
what?
money, don't spend money on myself. So, and I'm sure, you know, in you guys' relationship, it's the same. You got to keep each other up. You guys always remember one thing: remain positive at all times.
Facts.
There is a positive situation to every negative. So if you're having problems in your lifetime right now, make sure that you are surrounding yourself around good people,
Positive people.
people that are praying for you,
Yes.
not hindering you,
right.
but praying for you Make sure that you're surrounding yourself in a circle of people that are doing likewise. You are what you hang around. So if your life ain't
Amen.
going
You
right,
gotta say it.
and I'm not trying to preach right now, but if your life ain't going right, it could be just simply because of who you hanging around. If you want to be a business owner, hang around other business owners. If you want to be successful and get your education, hang around some folks that's in school. If you want to,
No, keep going. I got a shout out. I just remember.
what's the shout out?
Shout out to Fortitude.
Oh, yes. Okay, you guys, because I don't got that much time. Y'all listen to this. KMWI Media is coming out with a hot new mini-series called Fortitude. And you guys, it's juicy because it's about two women who are, they got it going on professionally, but they make bad choices with men and some with the wrong men. And some things turn and some things happen, and it makes you want to tune in only because Fortitude is the hottest new miniseries coming out. We are not going to disclose the release date, but I would really love for you guys to catch the trailer. This is filmed right here in Dallas, Texas, and you guys, we have some talented people on our team, and it is directed by yours truly. It would be me directing, so this stuff that you see in here, it's got a lot to do with the McDade's. We are putting these scenes together, and we're making sure. So you guys, Fortitude. If you see it on my page, y'all click the link. Just go watch it. Now look, we ain't MCA or nothing like
this. Ain't Tyler Perry Studio.
We ain't Tyler Perry Studio. So, but we gonna get there, and we claim that in the name.
Absolutely.
For real,
We gonna claim it.
Hey, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Jones.
Yeah, for real. So you
already
guys
done.
do not forget to tune in. Y'all watch us. We're gonna keep y'all posted. Fortitude, KMWI Media is coming with it. You guys make sure that you watch it. And if y'all have any questions or you guys like to follow us, y'all can go on kmwi-media.com to keep you posted on that. And you can also see them on YouTube as well as Facebook. Okay, so we'll keep you posted. Fortitude. Go ahead, babe.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You can also always catch the McDade's at on our Facebook. It's going to be Erica, Erika, and Shantae McDade. On YouTube, it's going to be the McDade's Podcast. And also follow us on our Instagram. It's the McDade's Podcast as well.
Yes.
And then every Sunday at 6 p.m., you can tune in at the executive suites of KMWI-media.com. Make sure you click that live link button.
Click it.
And you'll see our faces.
Okay, thank you guys, and we want to say thank you so much for the Baileys, for y'all coming on the show. We thank y'all so much, and y'all are more than welcome to come sit down at KMWI anytime that you want. Thank you, ladies, so much. You guys don't forget to tune in to us next week. We love y'all.
Mad. Boyfriend tripping, car didn't have no gas. Other situations, things unexpected. I even lost my temper over misreading a message. See, first it was this and that was soon to follow. Waiting on the weekend like my turn at the Apollo. Rub the wood, it's our Good Friday turn tonight. Gather up my girls and we gon' start the party right. Loving how I'm living like the sky is the limit. Whatever it is to get into, you know we gon' be in it. Ladies, if you feel me, put your glass to the ceiling.